Hello, hello, hello. Long time, Facebook. Long time. We are live. We are
Woo!
live with my business partner, Janie Vendreau from Belgium. Director, CEO, jack of all trades, sister, mother, cosmetics technician, the whole 9 yards of Niche Press and Sissy Cosmetics. And guess what, guys? We are in the US. Janie doesn't sleep. Janie doesn't rest. Janie is Niche Press Sissy Cosmetics. You have to try our Okra Cosmetics. Okra
Oh,
hairline. It is amazing. We have some testimonies coming up. And Janie, hubby is out of the beard oil. So he said, can you let Janie know if she needs to ship the beard oil? So with any further ado, Janie is here. You know, she's my eyes, ears, nose, and throat doctor, as I say, but an amazing, amazing woman. And I am so honored and grateful to be a part of this formulator, is what she calls it, and have the opportunity to interview Paris Rose. This is a whole nother sector of what we're trying to do to bring unity into society. And I want to turn it over to Janie, and Janie's going to introduce our special guest today.
Thank you so much for this extremely nice words, Janelle. I really value you. I love you as a sister. You are my sister, and I'm very, very honored that we are not only sisters but also partners.
Yes.
It is really great working with you. We have a crazy team. People do not know how we are. How we are and how we can be during the meetings. The other two of our team are not here right now, but I'm sure that they are watching. And we are basically a family. It's really great to have a team that is working so hard, putting everything in, and to bring to give the best of what we have.
Yes.
But today it's not about me or you. Today I want to, and I was really, really looking forward to this conversation. I'm going to call it a conversation. Um, I'm a bit privileged because I already knew a couple of people from the family that from Paris, because we are talking with Paris today. I know your mom. I saw a couple of other. I'm not going to I'm not going to be. My daughter always calls me a spoiler alert, so let's not do that today. So today I want to welcome Paris Rose. We are going to talk with Paris Rose, and I really was looking forward to this conversation, and I'm really excited. Thank you, Paris,
Of
and
course,
welcome to
me
the
too.
show. Really, really am honored that you decided and agreed to be in the magazine for once, and to have this talk with us today.
Thank you so much.
Um, I'm not going to introduce you. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. So my first question is, who is Paris? Who's Paris Rose?
Paris Rose. Well, first of all, my name is Paris Rose, and I am 24 years old, and I am ambitious and full of life and motivation,
Mhm.
and just a simple girl who wants to have her dreams come true, and the rest will sure to follow. Of course, with the hard work and the perseverance, I believe that I can get to where I want to be and fulfill my dreams. So that's Paris Rose.
Thank you.
Of
Well,
course.
we are talking about your journey today.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, did you want to say anything else?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay, sorry. Um, we are talking about your journey today, and your journey from being Devon to Paris,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So, can you tell me where is Devon right now, or who is Devon to you?
Devin, I said this in my article, but Devin is a figment of everyone else's imagination. Devin was somebody that was trying so hard to make everyone else happy that he, right, wasn't being true to himself. And I can't enunciate this enough. Just a figment of everyone else's imagination. People to this day still call me that, and I have to correct them and say, no, it's Paris. It's always been Paris. It always will be Paris. So Devin is history. That's where Devin is. And Devin is nothing to me anymore. So that's as honest and raw as I can be.
When you were saying it has always been Devin, when did you, so have you always felt like Paris? Or was there a time that, because I can imagine that growing up, being a little boy, when did you realize that you were not Devin but Paris?
So I grew up very, very feminine, and it went through stages. As I got older into my teens, I came out as gay. So that was about when I was like 16 or 17. And then over time, as I got into my adulthood, I started to really realize that I started meeting different people and experiencing different experiences. And it came to me that I'm more than just gay. I'm more than just feminine. I'm a woman, and I feel as if I am somebody that was born in the wrong body. And I have felt so dysphoric all of my life. And it was due time for me to come out and live in my truth, if that makes sense. So
it does. But just for the viewers and also for me, because while I'm saying it makes sense, I still have a lot of questions. Because during your teens, you came out as gay, right?
Correct.
Do you consider yourself gay right now? What is gay?
Gay, that's a very good question. Gay is a man, right? Or a woman that likes other women or other men.
Same thing.
And being transgender, which is what I am, I'm a woman, transgender woman. Being transgender is completely different. I feel like a woman. I want to be with a man that appreciates me for being a woman, because that's what I am. And it's just that. I'm a lady, I'm a woman, and I've always felt that way. But I had to go through my journey and my process to be able to understand everything. And I got to the point where, like I said, enough is enough. It's time to live me. It's time to live Paris Rose. So.
Sorry if I because one more question. So right now, if you would get married to a man, right? You would be just a couple. Would you? Because for the outside world, discarding Paris, it would still be gay.
If I was still living as Devin.
No. Right now, so you have transitioned right now from Devin to Paris. Paris
Correct.
now finds a man, right? Would that not still be seen as gay?
No, because I see myself as a woman.
Okay, clear.
Yeah.
If I'm going too far or asking too much of the same questions, just let me know, because I'm really curious. But I'm really and I really want to let me say that up front. I really want to treat this with the utmost respect. So if any question comes out wrong, it is not because of disrespectful or whatever, but for me to understand.
Right.
I value you as a person. I value you as a woman. It is not up to me to judge. So the questions that I'm asking are just questions that I have, and not to, I'm not here, and I know Janelle either. We are not here to judge or to whatever. We are here for your story.
So initially, when we had the honor of having T.S. Madison on our cover, our last issue, Jenny, do you have that cover, the magazine up?
I will have to look it up. Yeah.
And we were moving into the health and wellness sector. And as a journalist or writer or a marketer, someone that's digging deep, we always try. It's not more so trending for us, but it's really to expose what people are going through and what society is going through as a nation, and try to bring some form of understanding in that trend, in that season. And one of the things that I was looking at was the suicidal rates was very high. The mental issues around this topic. And let me say this. This is what really dived me into moving forward with this, was because people were ashamed of who they are because of what others may think of them, and this is what brings all of the friction and the challenging and the obstacles, right? So how could Niche Press bring Paris Rose, T.S. Madison? You guys are amazing human beings. And how could we shed light on your story? And one of the things, me and your mom and Janie, we are good friends, right? And I look at Linda as family, as sisters. So that means, Paris, you are our family. You know what I mean? You are just as important as anybody, because love rules the world, period. It should. So I wanted to say this to our audience, because we live in a society that is judgmental. And being a judgmental person, I don't think they understand how it impacts another person's life. So Paris, walk us through some of the depression roller coasters that you've had, trying to come out of who Devin is to, who Paris is.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's staticky. I didn't hear that last question. I'm sorry.
Walk us through the depressions and the emotional roller coaster you've had with your transition.
Okay, so when I was about 16, I went to therapy for many reasons. I've had several things happen to my brain to where I start getting really depressed, and I dealt with a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, and I was diagnosed with PTSD recently, and that has all really impacted me because, like you said, we get a lot of backlash for living in our truth and being who we are. And I feel as if that really impacted me because I'm already dealing with this stuff. I don't need your judgment on me on this one thing, living who I am. I can't help who I am. You know what I'm saying? So for people to make me feel some type of way to the point where I feel like I have nobody, because that's at one point, that's how I felt. I felt like I had nobody on my side, nobody with me, nobody in cahoots with me. And that really hurt me to the point where I have attempted several suicides. and all of them failed. Thank God above that they did, because I have so much more to offer the world and to live. But it's something that I've struggled with for a very long time, from Devon to Paris, to the beginning of Paris. And I'm at my point in my life where I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna live for me, and I'm not gonna let anyone's hate or backlash or um, anything like that make me feel less than. And
Right, right.
I'm gonna stand up for my right as a transgender, and stand up for everyone else's right as a transgender or whatever they are. I'm very big on rights. So
Right.
that's
Do we have
that's
Jenny,
me.
do we have pictures of the magazine to pull it
Well,
up?
I did, and I think you all saw my big smile when I opened the magazine. I'm not going to start with the cover. I'm going to start with what gave me a smile, actually. So let me share that with you. Um,
Okay.
while I'm doing that, somebody is asking, "Are you happy now?" I think the question is for you, Paris. Are you happy now?
I Yes, thank you for that question. I am very, very extremely happy because I'm living for me, and I'm living as the person that I always knew that I am. And I feel like that's a great lesson for everyone else that is struggling, because if you're not living in your truth and you're not being who you are and you're living on everyone else's expectations, you're not going to go anywhere in your life. You have to be able to live for you, because that is the only way to be genuinely and truly happy. So, to answer your question, I am extremely happy. Yes.
Uh, I want to say this too. Initially, when Janie said, "Hey, we're going to go live with Paris," right? And I'm going to, because one thing I always bring treats for, and I was like, "Oh my God, what do you think the people are going to think?" That's the first thing I said, right? And Jenny was like, "Well, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's my show, it's my magazine, and hey." And I said to myself, "Oh my God, my brand, right?" The first thing I was like, "Oh my God!" But I always react, and then this is what I said to myself: what would I be? I would just be a hypocrite, just as everybody else, you know, um, understanding it from another level, but not exposing it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And,
Uh-huh.
and for me, it's not whether I condone it or not, because it's your life, it's your truth, and my job as she exists is to expose what people are going through. It's to expose real talent. It's to expose spirit, and people can take it or leave it. And at that point for me was just another eye opener. Like, you know what? Look at the death rates. Look at the suicidal. Look at the issues that human being had. And then Paris, when I heard you sing Amazing Grace, and every time you sing, it does something to my spirit. I hear the journey. And the journey for you was not easy, because I can feel that pain. So before we dive in, I want to take a minute, and I would love for you to sing that song. I know Linda, it melts her heart every time you sing it. So just give us that tune right now. So until we have other audience come on, and then dive into other things. But let's go. It's on you.
Sure. And I'd love to explain before I start singing. I would love to explain.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be singing the Chris Tomlin version, which is so powerful to me, because in the some of the verses they say, "My chains are gone. I've been set free." And that is so powerful to me and rings so deeply within my spirit and my soul and my heart, because my chains are gone. I am free because I'm living in my truth now. And that's just, for me personally, that is something that I will never forget. And I will always, always appreciate that song and that version of Amazing Grace. So here I go. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, other people in the house are even clapping. Great, thank you. I have. Ugh, I'm speechless, but I don't know if I even
Thank
can
you.
ask this question. I see you there with the Bible in front of you, and I know I am going to rough a lot of people. So no, let me not say that. I know that a lot of people are using religion to judge or um, to disrespect, to judge, to do a lot of things. Do you consider yourself? I think I already know the question. Do you consider yourself a Christian?
That is such a hard question for me, because I have been struggling with that thought for months now, because I have found my own way of thinking and my own knowledge, which comes from the universe, who is God, in my opinion. And I consider myself somewhat Christian. I don't have any labels right now, so I can't answer that directly. But I do know that I believe that there is a bigger source, a bigger power out there, and that is God. So that's as good as I can get right now.
Okay, because that was my next question actually. Where is God for you in all of this,
Mhm.
knowing how people look at, not all people, but how some people can look at the gay community, how some people can look at transgenders, how people look at, well, how people look at anything actually. But from your point of view, where is God in Paris's her life?
Yeah. So for me, I feel as if God is in everything that we see, everything that we do, everything that we feel. The air, the trees, the grass that you walk on, the water, the ocean, everything entails something of God. I believe that God is in everybody, everything. That's that's where I believe God is. He's everywhere. It is everywhere. I don't see God as a person. I see God as a space, so to say. It's everywhere. God is everywhere. And that's just my personal opinion that I've to grown to know.
Thank you. Yeah. When you were saying that you had several, you tried to commit several suicides, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, he just didn't want you there yet, so you could keep trying, but you were just not ready to leave this world. So um, yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that it you did not succeed, because you gave us something very precious. And I'm going to show the picture again,
Wow.
and then um, we're going to a precious little girl that I got to um, I had a brief conversation with her some time ago. She was using her body as a paint, as a canvas. I
A little
really love
sass queen.
this picture. I really, really love this picture of you and Bunny.
Mm.
Where
Um,
is it? I don't see it.
don't you see my screen? Oh, I
I
was
see.
think.
Oh, yep, there it is. I see.
Ah, okay.
Janie, can you zoom in? Can you zoom in
It
on
is.
Paris
Oh,
and Bonnie?
yeah. There it is. Can you see it?
I
Yeah.
do. Oh, that tells such a story.
What are you thinking right now, seeing you and Bonnie? Right there, that picture.
I'm saying that I am so blessed and fortunate to be able to be alive, to be able to create someone so freaking beautiful. I
That's
look at
right.
her every single day and I'm like, God and I did that. You know, we created a being that brings joy, love, and happiness to so many people. I can pass somebody and be like, they'll be like, oh, are you Bonnie's mom? She is such a precious little girl. I love her so much. And this is every day. And I'm just blown away about how much love and appreciation she gets because I'm not surprised, but I'm blown away, because she is just a gem and a diamond and even brighter. So that's what I'm thinking. And I'm a really lucky mom. I am.
Yeah, she is. She is a gem. She's a very vibrant, lively little girl. For those of you who don't know Bunny, you will see more of Bunny because she is on her way to become an own little star. Um, I've seen some I've seen some pictures of her. She is really really getting. She'll get there. She'll get there. No doubt. No doubt.
She's
So,
on
Karen,
her way. She's gonna
She
get
is
there.
absolutely, definitely on her way. Yes, yeah. And she, although she's, how old is she now? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has this. How do I say it?
She is gonna be 3 in October.
She's an old soul. She looks like an old soul. So she's definitely going to make it. Yeah, absolutely.
Devin, what were some of the challenges that you experienced while being, while transitioning, while you're transitioning with Bonnie, with life, and, walk us through that. Tell us how that looked.
Okay. Well, when Bonnie was in the womb of, shout out to my angel Tyler in heaven, her daddy, because he was transgender as well. During that time, it was hard because a lot of people didn't understand. Everywhere we would go, they wouldn't understand what was happening. And they would ask, so where's the other parent? And Tyler would go, this is the mother right here. And it did make me feel some type of way every time because they would see him as a woman and me as a man, because that's just how society has always been trained to think. And I feel as if I needed to be able to go through that in order to let people and have people understand that, yes, this is my child, I am a mother, and it's not something that some people would call quote unquote normal, but it's happening and the world is changing and expanding and evolving into something much more open and much more beautiful. And I feel as if those moments needed to happen because everything is divine. Everything has a divine purpose, a divine reason for why the things that happen. So that's where I'm at with that.
I got a question for you. What scripture do you read to help you through this transition?
Well, I like Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 3, where I have the Bible right in front of me. Thank you for asking. Where the title is Man Cannot Hit on the Right Time to Act. So there's a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. And I find that so beautiful because there's a time for everything in every part of our life. We all have a time where things can be so good and then things can be so bad. And the bad times just help us get closer and closer to the good and closer to eternity, in my opinion. So I really love that scripture. That's a scripture I read every morning. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's some one of the things just talking to you, you're so mindful. And I'm going to say that you're mindful with religion, you're mindful of your response because you're so mindful of still, I have my family, I have my friends, I still honor the people that don't understand, and you're still having respect for the people that don't understand you, because that's what I hear when you're answering these questions. You're answering it with the mindful of trying to be so transparent and still be respectful of other beliefs. Am I right?
Thank you. Yes, I believe very highly on being an example for others because, like I said before we started the live, that everyone needs to learn how to judge less and be more open, even if they don't understand or agree. The hate and the hate crimes, all of that is so unnecessary, because why can't we just coexist
Mm-hmm.
and love? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with just loving somebody. You don't have to hate them just because you don't agree, or call them names, or tell them that they're wrong. Because in my opinion, everyone is correct. It's just a lot of people don't understand and a lot of people don't agree. But that doesn't mean that they're wrong. And they're certainly not wrong for being who they are. You see what I'm saying? So I believe in respecting others, because once you respect others, you're more than likely to gain the respect back. And that's what I like to believe each.
Could it also be that it's out of fear? Because normally people when somebody doesn't know something, or they fear it, they don't understand it, that is when they, instead of trying to understand, they react or respond in a certain way.
I completely agree with that. I have actually said that to my fiance before. I feel like when people don't understand, they tend to be more angry, more like frustrated with themselves out of fear, and then anger builds up, and just a mix of emotions just come in, and then the next thing you know, they're just hating on you because they don't understand, and they're frustrated with themselves, because I think a part of them wants to understand, but can't. And that frustrates the heck out of them. Totally.
And I think the hating is fine, right? As long as you don't put your hands on someone else. But because of the hating, people tend to go one step further, and then one step further, and then another step further. I do understand that you don't understand it and therefore you hate, but it doesn't have to become that you then also, it doesn't have to turn into hate crimes. And there are still, and I heard about something that happened here in Belgium not too long ago. I think it was last month. And I was really surprised that in 2021, there are still these kind of crimes happening. People are still beating up gay men. And I don't understand. First of all, I don't have the energy to to go out and try to beat someone up. I wouldn't even have it's mind blowing, because there's so much information. There's so much, and with all the information that we are getting, even though you don't and you cannot or you don't want to understand it, but there's a part of you that must say, okay, although I don't understand it, but let me just leave it and respect it.
Correct. And I think that's where you're in the right. You know, when you start to gain that mindset, you're on the right path, for sure.
Yeah. So where is Paris going? Where will Paris be in 5 years from now?
Paris, for starters, probably does not want to be most definitely does not want to be in Tampa anymore. I've been here all my life. I'd like to experience something different and start a new life somewhere. And
Are you coming to Paris?
Maybe. We'll see. That is definitely a stop for me. That is a stop for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I remember Janelle was saying that oh, Paris is I don't know, she said something and I didn't completely understood what she meant, but it was about you and it was about Paris. But what I understand, what my brain told me, is that you were in Paris. So I was like, oh, I can go and visit her because it's only 1.5 hours away from me. And she was like, no, she's not in Paris.
I love, yes.
Absolutely.
What are your ambitions?
I have always dreamt and fantasized about being this multi-award winning superstar, and that's just half of it. I would like to make my way to New York so I can work my butt off and get on Broadway. Been a big dream. I've always loved the arts. I would love to make an album of songs that I've written that I don't think I would publish, but I would love to write songs that are good. I definitely don't see myself here. I see myself definitely home, which is New York for me. I've always wanted to live there and be there. It's so expensive, but so worth it. It's so beautiful there. I've only been there once. I got to see Wicked up there, actually. That's my favorite musical. So I have always wanted to do that. And I think that is my first stop, for sure.
Mhm.
Paris, what are you holding back in this conversation? You're holding back.
Probably just nerves, girl. Probably nothing. I don't have anything, right? I don't have anything that I'm holding back. What have you not asked me that maybe I'm holding back?
No, I
Let's
just see. Yeah, okay, and I love you for that. Always, coming back, but a reserve. You're definitely reserved. Because we're trying to say what does Paris want? When you look in the mirror, what do you want? And then reason, let me shine some light, because you have been immune to so much attacks. Your spirit is already on guard, subconsciously, but when you look in the mirror, or if one of your role models that you look up to is to ask you, what do Paris want? When you look in the mirror and you see Paris, who do you see? Who do you see?
I see someone that is driven, someone that wants something so bad she'll do anything to get it. And a star. I see a star. And someone that can really get to where she wants to be as long as she does the work to do that, to get there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And after you wrote your article, because I believe on Niche Press, that was the first article that you wrote. How did you feel after releasing that?
Well, when I first saw the article, I was blown away at how amazing it is to be able to be in something that everyone can see and be able to get my story out there, because that is the most important part for me, is getting my story out there and letting everyone know that it's okay to live in your truth. It's okay to be who you are. You don't have to hide. And even though it doesn't conform to society's laws or rules, it's still okay to do you and be different and be unique and authentic. And I think being your authentic self is so much more important than making other people happy. So seeing that article really, really warmed my heart. And I want to thank you so much for letting me be a part of something so powerful, so awesome, so amazing. So thank you.
Janie, I got
You are
one more
welcome.
question
Yeah.
before I turn it over to you. And Janie, can you put our magazine link on the screen, if you will? But here's my last question, and I'll turn it over to Janie. And I want your truth, Paris. How does it
Yeah.
make you feel when people attack you for walking in your truth? I want you to give me a real life happening situation that happened to you, and then I want you to talk about how did you overcome that obstacle.
Goodness. It has been a little bit because I don't interact with too many people nowadays, too much. But I remember when I was still living at my parents, and they conform to a very conservative way of thinking and a very conservative way of life, and are not too fond of the life that I have chose to fully be. And I remember they would always tell me things such as, "You're very unflattering with makeup. Take that off. That's not for men. You're gaining weight. You need to take that off. That stuff off. You don't look good. You don't look flattering." Is what the word that one of them used. And I, at the time, I didn't take it with a grain of salt. I was very, very angry. I didn't understand why my mother or my father would say these things to me. And I walked away because I knew that if I opened my mouth, right, I would I would say something that I was going to regret. And I didn't want to do that because I love them. I love them very much. And although they hurt me, I wouldn't want to do the same thing to them. I wouldn't. And so I walked away. I slammed my door so they would know I was upset. And just let it go. I let it go. But now they attack me and they come for me. I stand up for myself respectfully and maturely, more mature. And I say, hey, this is my life. This is what I believe. I don't force you to conform to my lifestyle. Please don't conform. Please don't force me to be in yours, And now that I have stood up to them and tell them my truth, they kind of back away, and they're very, very, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you," very, very mature about it, very kind. But the wall is just still up, and I feel like that wall is just going to be up until it's not. They don't want to. They just want to believe what they believe, and that's fine. But please don't push it onto me. So that's how I handle that situation.
Were you angry or were you hurt?
For me, that goes hand in hand. I was very angry at first, and then I processed it and realized I'm more hurt than angry, because who wants to hear their parents say all those awful things to them? I feel like hurt consumed me more than anger did. Yeah. Thank you for asking me that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But have you been able to give it a place? And what I mean by that is, have you been able to now know how to respond to those comments or those remarks? If I would say something ugly to you now, would it still hit you? or have you built some sort of immunity around it?
Here's so what I like to do is I like to acknowledgement is so important. And I feel when someone says something bad to you or something terrible happens to you, I feel like you have to acknowledge that pain in order to be
Mhm.
able to process it and grow and understand it. And that is so important to me is acknowledging that pain that you have inside you and feeling it
Mhm.
before you respond. And when you respond, at least when I respond,
Mhm.
I after I feel feeling it and processing it, I calmly tell them that that really hurt me and that's not okay and I'm not going to stand for that. You can believe what you want to believe, but I'm going to express to you how hurt I am for the things that you've said to me and have done to me. And if I didn't acknowledge it, I don't think I would have had a good response at all. I would have totally lost myself in the midst of my emotions in a like a probably in a sea of tears and anger for sure. So
What if?
acknowledgement, keyword acknowledgement is so powerful.
Mhm. Mhm. And what has helped you to be able to grow to the woman that you are now, from where you came from, the hurt, people telling you whatever they want to tell you. How did you manage to become what you are now, or how you are now?
How did I manage to be I'm sorry, you cut out. How did I manage to become who I am now?
Yeah, a calm, um, not reacting but responding, um, conscious.
I that really helped me grow and form into this calm, conscious, aware, acknowledging human being. Everything that I've been through was all meant to happen. It was all meant to happen and meant to shape me into who I am now. And I look back and I'm like, I thank the Lord I went through all of that because I'm
Mhm.
acknowledging everything that I've been through, everything that I went through from my husband's death, Bonnie's father's death, to being a mockery in my family, to whatever, everything that I've been through shaped this person and made me
Mhm.
a better person because I was able to learn how not to be, so to speak,
Mhm.
and so strong. I would define myself as a strong individual for sure.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's the experiences of the things that I think for sure.
Wow, thank you. So, if we look at where society is going, um, don't you think that in a couple of years from now, Bunny is going to be a teenager, and then she will, if people know about your background, she will get that same. Um, I don't know if condemnment is the right word, but she people might also start to judge her or start to tease her or whatever. What will you do to strengthen her in that? How will you how will you do that? How will you prepare her for what can come?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot as well too. I don't think that you're ever ready
Mm-hmm.
to go through that. But if I was ready to go through that, I would share my experiences with her and how I overcame them and how I got through them and hope. hoping that she would use those and become a conscious, aware, acknowledging individual such as myself. I would hope that those experiences would shape her and help her to understand and to know that all she needs to do is just live in her truth and be happy. And it's hard.
Mhm.
And she's gonna know that. It's hard to just be happy sometimes. But until you have to be ready to be happy in order to be happy. You have to let that happiness in and acknowledge the experiences that you went through and think about them and use them and say, hey, I'm strong because I went through this. I'm strong because I went through this. I'm this way because I went through all of that. So I'm going to be there for her regardless. Whatever she's going through, I'm there. Mama's there. So.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch on the suicide because we also had an article about the suicide rates, right? Under the young, especially in the gay community, boys and girls taking their lives because they just do not feel understood. They don't feel wanted. They don't feel accepted. What would you say to someone that is watching now and is in that situation?
I would tell them that it's only for a moment. It's only for a moment. And then all of that pain, that misery that you endure is going to lift you so high, and you are going to be the happiest person alive once you truly know that it's only for a moment. Once you truly acknowledge that and acknowledge the pain,
Mm-hmm.
and live in your truth, begin to live in your truth. That's real. So that's what I would say to everyone out there who needs some guidance and some help understanding that lesson, because it's a very powerful lesson. It helped me.
But I can understand that's very difficult, especially if you're not supported. You're not in a supportive family. Friends don't know about it. So it can be very difficult to be yourself or choose you.
Absolutely.
So what helped you?
My best friend has always been music. Music has brought me in complete surrender to everything that has hit me. It has really changed me. Music has always spoken to me, and it's something so deep in my life for me. I have always been in music. My grandma put me in music class when I was young, and ever since then I have just had a fascination to tambourines, guitars. I own a guitar, by the way, a drums, and my voice just came with it all. So I would say music.
Wow. And we have someone here who has also been very precious to you in all this, in your journey, in all your endurance. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yes, so her name is Keisha Prime. She came to my home to give me lessons when I was about 13 years old. And we've been inseparable ever since. She has been one of my best friends, my closest allies. She has always been by my side. She's actually going dress shopping with me tomorrow, hopefully. And she's given me strength within my confidence to be able to perform, to sing out and loud and use volume, because this voice did not come easy, baby, at all. So she really helped shape shape the person that I am. And she
Mhm.
actually just told me the other day that she knew I was trans before I knew.
Really? Wow.
She saw it. She saw it. She said, I hope this person lives in her truth when it's time. And I just bawled, cried. I was like, I had no idea you knew, but she was like, yeah, I knew the whole time. I was just waiting for you to be able to realize it yourself.
Wow.
So she's a powerful person for sure. And I love her dearly. I love you, girl.
I want to bring Keisha to the stream, but I don't know if she is ready to yeah, here she is. Let me
and Paris, we gotta hear you play that guitar.
Hey, yes, for sure. Hey, Keisha.
Hi. Oh, you almost made me cry. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Hi,
So
Keisha.
this is the infamous Keisha Prime, who is amazing. Yes, girl.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Paris.
So I'm just curious. After you introduce yourself, can we get a duet? Because I see you have a piano back there, and I see Paris has a guitar. So let us get some entertainment. We're always up for the challenge.
Exactly.
I wonder if we remember that song that we like to do the duet with Icy Fire?
Oh, from the Hobbit movie?
Right. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if it will sync up if there's any but you can start and then I'll harmonize and I'll try to remember the words.
Okay. How does it go?
Where's your guitar, Paris?
I'm still learning the guitar, girl. Well, that is a little shaky. I'm not trying to embarrass myself. Period.
I think "Oh Misty Eye from the Mountain Below." Those are the first words.
Oh yes. Oh, misty eye from the mountain below. Keep careful watch of my brother's soul. And how does the rest go? And
should the high and low. Keep careful watch over during suns. I see fire.
That's right.
Inside the mountains, I see fire.
Inside the mountains, I see fire. Burning the soul, I see fire.
That's a delay, but that's fine.
It's lagging off. That's why I can't hear you, girl.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, that's a song that we love to harmonize together when we used to have lessons together. So it was from when Paris was 13, 14, and then up to 21. I think that's when you stopped lessons, 21. So it was that long.
About that time, because about that time I was still discovering myself, and I kind of just lost everyone at that point. So
yeah, we started going through a really hard time, and so. But yeah, I knew the very second I saw Paris, I knew that she was Paris. I didn't know the name was Paris, but I knew that she wasn't Devin.
How did you know?
I don't know. I just knew. That's the energy. I didn't feel energy. I didn't feel a Devin energy. I felt a feminine energy.
Because you met at 13, right? And by that time, Paris did not even realize herself that she was then gay. So
not at all.
What was it that you saw?
I felt a feminine energy, and I remember thinking that. And the very first lesson, because her adopted family is Catholic, the very first lesson I prayed and I said, Lord, give them the strength for when the time comes when Paris has to tell them who she really is, for how this is going to go down because of the beliefs. Mm-hmm. I knew. So, wow. And she told me, and then through this, and even in the figuring out with the part with the homosexuality, I still knew that there was more there, because I didn't see her as a homosexual. I saw her as a female. I felt female energy and presence. And so for me, it was a female energy and a male energy. It's not homosexual, it's transgender. But while she's processing us right now, as she knows, well, as far as I'm concerned, the world identifies me as male. So, and if I'm attracted to another male, then so I must be gay. So she was at that point, and she had to go through that point where she realizes that it's possible to identify as another gender besides what your sexual organs have given you at birth.
Mm-hmm. 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 Wow. Yeah. Paris, I also heard that you got engaged.
I did. I got engaged right here.
Oh my God. Congratulations. Congratulations. I have one question.
Uh-huh.
When you are going to get married, can we cover your marriage?
Heck yeah. Yes.
Great. Janelle.
Well, I'm just, blown away. And again, hey, this interview wouldn't be an interview if you didn't decide to come on here with your truth. And Keisha, thank you for coming on here. But I definitely see talent. It's genuine. This interview is very authentic. And, we want to encourage people that are going through situations like this to call the nearest hotline, wherever that is. Google help get therapy. I'm an advocate for help leadership.
Yes. Don't do this alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always someone who wants to listen. There's always someone that can help, regardless of, your own environment. There is always someone there that can and want to help. So don't think that you're alone. And I know that it can feel that way, right? You are going through all these emotions and thinking that you're alone, or thinking that nobody understands, and thinking that, but guess what? Whatever you feel, whatever you're going through, somebody else already has done that. So you are definitely not alone.
Thank you so much for the encouraging words. Thank you.
Can you close us out first with some encouraging words? And then could we get another song? Can we just get another song out of you guys? Absolutely. But I have a question for Keisha. Can you tell the audience, give us some encouraging words if somebody that has been in Paris' shoes and we don't know that person?
I would tell them that life is extremely short. And the best way that you can serve the world is to be the best version of yourself. And to be the best version of yourself, you have to be yourself. And when you are truly yourself, you can be happy. And that happiness can be contagious to the people around you. And you're going to get a lot of pushback. And there are times that you will learn that blood is not necessarily thicker than water. And you will have people who are your blood who may disown you. But to know that there are a large community of people out there, I have learned that you can choose your family. You can create your new family. There are people that you meet in 2 weeks and they would give you the shirt off of their back. That there are a community of people out there, if you feel lost and alone, people who aren't accepting you, there are huge communities of people who are accepting. The church that I work for as a musician, we have ordained homosexual pastors. We're very much very much accepting of love in any way. My pastor is bisexual. Like there are people don't know that. There are a lot of people who don't realize that there are communities of people out there. And even if you still identify as Christian, which some people feel, well, I have to automatically not identify myself as Christian if I want to live my true life. And that's not necessarily the case. There are communities who will embrace you. Do not give up. You have a purpose. You are here for a reason. You can turn your struggle and trials into triumph, just as Paris is doing.
Okay. Kim, Keisha, I don't know, I say one thing. Can you sing Paris? Can you sing to Paris of her freedom, her celebrating her freedom?
Okay. Let's see. I want to think of a freedom song that I'll sing. Let me see. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show the true colors. True colors, beautiful, like a rainbow.
Wow.
Wow.
I love you too. Can you please come tomorrow so I can give you a big hug?
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. I love you so much. That was beautiful.
I love you too, Paris. Thank you.
Absolutely was. Paris, my last question. My last question to you. Well, not a question, but more like a request. Before we go out, can you sing us another song, please?
Sure. What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. Got my head spinning. No kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride. And I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be all right. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfection. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. And I give you all of me, oh, and you give me all of you, oh.
Wow, I did not expect that song.
Thank you.
Wow, great. Even my daughter who's here was singing along. So.
What?
Thank you. That was awesome.
Such an honor to be here, really. Thank you so much. Such an honor to be able to be a part of something so great and so big. And I can't wait to see where you all go and grow too and expand. I'm so excited.
Thank you. And we are taking you with us. So
yes, let's go.
I hope when your first album comes out, when you're getting married, all these big things, just let us know.
Absolutely. You're on my list.
We are going to take you along. Thank you very much, Paris. It was a very open. Thank you for your openness, for your honesty. I have so much more to ask, but we will keep it for this hour. And I hope that you'll be willing to come back some other time to have another conversation with us.
When and where.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Thank you all. Have a great
Bye,
evening,
everybody.
everybody. This was Paris Rose. Watch out for her. She's on the rise.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.